Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's recipe is going to be another experimental recipe. It's going to be a bagel recipe with ham and cheese and a bit of a twist because I'm going to be using an egg as well, and I'll be making it in the air fryer. So please make sure you stay tuned. So these are the ingredients I'm going to be using. The original recipe asks for chutney, like chili chutney or any other kind of chutney. We are not very keen on chutney in this family, so I'm going to substitute it with butter. So we've got one bagel, so I cut this in half, pop it in the air fryer, but you can actually do this bit in your toaster as well if you wish. We've got a bit of ham, we've got a bit of cheese, and we've got a raw egg. So I cut this in half, I pop it in the air fryer on 180 for a couple of minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, just to toast it a little bit. But as I said, if you got a toaster, you can just put it in a toaster. I think the end result will be the same. The recipe asks for preheating the air fryer. I never do. If you've been watching me for a while, I have a Ninja air fryer and I never ever preheat mine. And I'm not going to do it today. So I'm just going to cut this up, pop it in the air fryer for 2 minutes on 180 just to toast it a little bit for the next step. So I got my bagels in there. I will not be using a parchment paper with this because when I put it back, then the bagel will be kind of put back together and the parchment paper would just curl around it. So I decided just to use my silicone liner. So put the Ninja on. I'm using the second basket, air fryer 180, and I'm going to do 2 minutes and obviously keep an eye on it and see how we're going to come along with this. So while the Ninja is doing its thing, I'm just going to grate a bit of cheese. Again, you can just judge how much cheese you want to use, and also you might even be able to use like a slice of cheese. You can use different like hard cheeses. I probably wouldn't recommend using any soft cheese because it's all kind of nicely will get melted together. So let me just grate the cheese. I will just roughly estimate how much I would be able to put between the two slices. As I said, don't overdo it because then the cheese will just come out on the edges, but you want to put enough in there so it will taste nice and cheesy. Alright, so 2 minutes is up. Let's have a look. I will pop this back for another 1 minute because they do look a little bit under. So put it into air fry 180 and for another minute. So it will be in the air fryer altogether for 3 minutes. But as I said, you can easily do this part in a toaster. You will get the same result, I'm sure of it. So this is the amount of cheese I'm going to be putting in between the bagel slices, and obviously I've got my ham here. So when it's so nicely toasted, I will have to modify the bagel a little bit because the hole inside the bagel will not be big enough for my egg that I'm going to crack on, just, you know, for the last stretch of the cooking journey. So I will show you how to do that in the next step when the Ninja is done. So the time is up. So they've been in the air fryer for 3 minutes. Feels nice and crispy and sounds nice and crispy as well. So I'm just going to take these out and pop them on the side. And as I said, I will have to make this holes a little bit bigger. If your bagel's got a bigger hole, then you may not need to do this modification. So here is my modified bagel. So what I did, I just put, obviously they are quite hot, put them on the top of each other, get a sharp knife and kind of go around it and just push the middle through. So this is what I've got now. So if I were using chutney, apparently only need to put chutney on one of the halves and then put the cheese and the ham on top. But as I said, I will not be using chutney. I'm just going to be using butter. So I will butter both sides, and I'm going to be putting the cheese at the bottom. So the cheese is going to go, I will stick to the original recipe on that. So cheese at the bottom, and I put the ham on the top, and then it will all go back in the air fryer again for another 5 minutes on 180. So this is my bagel that's been all put together nicely. So you can see there's a little bit of a hole. So this is where the egg will have to go in when it's time. But I'm just gonna, as I said, I'm just gonna pop this in on 180 for 5 minutes, and then I take it out and I will gently try to crack the egg and pop it in the middle and put it back for another few minutes. Alright, so it's in there, ready to go. I'm using a second basket, and it's air fry, and it's 180, and it's 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, I'm going to be gently taking the air fryer drawer out, and then wish me luck when it comes to cracking the egg in the middle. So the 5 minutes is up, so I take it out really carefully. I will have to put my phone down for this bit because it's gonna be then super messy. So I will try to crack this egg in the middle. If it starts going all over the place, what I may lift this up so it will give the egg a little bit more spreading space. Well, this is not the most attractive things I've ever seen, to be honest, but at least it kind of stayed together, the white and the yolk. So it's going back in the air fryer now on 180 again, and the recipe says anything between 8 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to put it in for 8 minutes. I guess it's because it's personal preference how you like your eggs. So I just pop it in for 8 and keep an eye on it. So we shall see how much this egg will be spreading all over the place, or how it's gonna cook in the end. So the 8 minutes is up, and I think it's looking pretty good. I kind of had a very brief peek. I mean, the egg is definitely, well, I don't know if you can see, a little bit runny in the middle. So we do like runny egg in this family, so I think 8 minutes is gonna be good. If you like hard-boiled eggs, if you don't like the runny bit, I will pop it back on 180 again for another 2 minutes. But as I said, we love runny, so I take this out and I cut it up, and I'm gonna have a little taste test. I can't wait. So this is it cut up. You can see a little bit of runny at the bottom. So I kind of partly turn it around. It's juicy at the bottom. So again, if you like, I mean, we don't mind a bit of runny, but if you don't want to have anything runny, then pop it back for another 2 minutes. The top is quite hard. It's quite hard actually. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe. It was slightly different from my usual pizza bagel, but the only thing that was a little bit off-putting was really the hardness of the bagel on the top, and that was one of the things, one of the negative reviews when I read this recipe. People were saying that it was a little bit on the harder side, and the egg was good on the top. It was a little bit runny at the bottom. To be honest, it was a really good experiment. Maybe it would come out differently if I used chutney, but definitely we would prefer to use our general pizza bagel recipe. On that note, please don't forget to check out, I will link it to this video. It's one of our family favorites, and my daughter could eat pizza bagel pretty much every day. So thank you very much for coming to find me. Thank you very much for sticking around, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Have a lovely day. Take care. Goodbye for now.